Hey guys, it's 9 o'clock.
On Monday night, and you're here with Mo and Jess live on Facebook. Welcome everybody to this cold Monday night here in Montreal, but we're actually thinking about traveling today, so we're hoping to head to somewhere a little bit more warm, if you will. But that's what inspired, in part, our topic for today. What also inspired us was the constant Facebook feed that we've been seeing over the past few weeks about different airline horror stories of people getting dragged down the aisle, of families with young children being sent to find a hotel in the middle of the night. So we wanted your opinion, we wanted your feedback, and wanted to share your own horror stories, because I have plenty, and I know plenty of my friends have, and I see it on Facebook all the time. We're always sharing these stories. So we want to hear from you and want to know what you have to say or think about this. Hi, Peter.
Exactly. Peter's excited to be here. Thanks for being here, Peter. We're talking about what's been in the news, basically.
Right.
A lot of, like Jess said, horror stories, a lot of incidents involving the airline. And are you guys not going to fly specific airlines because of some of the stuff you've seen all over social media or in the news?
Right. So one of the things that really gets to me is that we hear how this, specifically what happened to David Dow, the one that was dragged and had a bloody nose and I think he was almost unconscious at one point. So are people now going to stop flying United because of this incident? Or if United has the cheapest ticket, are we going to continue and purchase the ticket, flying to...
Yeah.
So I don't know what I would do. I mean, am I boycotting United or Delta because of the way they've handled the situation? Or would I just book it because it has the cheapest airfare? What would you do?
I think
what
most
would you all do?
people, I don't know, when people say they're boycotting, are they really boycotting? I know that their stock price plummeted at the news.
Okay. Of what happened.
Right.
Right.
And all that, but are people actually boycotting? I guess some people are.
I mean, I would definitely think twice about purchasing from Delta or United or any other airline that I had personally had a situation with. But again, if it's like $300 or $400 or $500 cheaper, then maybe I would just end up booking with that. But if they were similar in price, I would probably choose another airline, definitely. What do you guys think?
I don't know. Are some people, do anybody have a good experience on airlines? Does anyone have a helpful story that an airline helped them out with? Or are they all, hey Nat, thanks for joining us? Or are all the stories more
Negative.
Do we ever hear about happy stories, or are we only hearing about sad stories? Isn't that what news is, I guess? News is really sad.
Well, it's not supposed to be. That's just the way news is right now. But, I mean, people usually like to, complain. I'm not saying that in a negative way, but people want their negative stories to be heard so other people are aware, and we can change something about that. So I guess that's why we're hearing a lot of these negative stories, right?
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, go ahead. You think we are?
I think we are hearing a lot of negative stories, because that's what news is, mostly
right.
Negative. We don't really hear that many positive things in the news. But I don't know. I mean, some people will just fly the least expensive ticket price, and they'll go with them, and they don't really care about what happened to some random person that was kicked off the flight.
Right. Okay, so Diana just wrote, and she basically said something very interesting. She said, unfortunately, she would still fly with both United and with Delta. One, because United has the fastest routes to her hometown, which is Mexico. Well, her hometown in Mexico. And Delta, she has a lot of points already. So she would fly with them too. So that's
she's doing because of convenience.
And because she has points.
Right.
So that makes...
But let's say you were flying a route that there were the exact two different airlines flying to the same place.
Right.
And you had, say, the same amount of points on each. Would you not fly one because of a story that you heard in the news? Like a human was treated as an animal, as cattle.
Right.
He was treated like an animal. He was thrown off the plane. He was dragged off the plane like an animal.
Even animals shouldn't be treated that way personally. But I think what to Diana's point is that we don't have a lot of options. So maybe that's why airlines have, gone to this level where they can treat customers poorly and no one can say anything because they have points. So that's loyal rewards, if you want. So that they're grabbing you that way, so they can treat you poorly. And then on the other hand, they have very distinct routes, so they know that they have specific routes that only they have. So, they get you that way too.
Well, I agree with that, but different airlines are adding different routes. But
right.
Natalie says that it's like a power tripping, and this is their power. The say flight attendants or the pilots or the airline, this is their only power in life, and they're trying to take advantage of that.
Maybe it's that, or maybe it's also a lack of sleep. Maybe they're tired and cranky because they have
they're working too many hours. But I think there's regulation for how many hours they can work. But it's possible.
Right.
That too when they're on a long flight. But a lot of these incidents have been happening at the beginning of the flight when they're supposed to be well rested.
Maybe they're like on their second or third flight. Who knows?
They ran out of coffee.
Anne wrote, have you ever tipped a stewardess?
Well, I think it's illegal to tip stewardess.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But is it illegal? Okay. Maybe. I don't think I ever have. I never had a stewardess.
Natalie also said earlier, remember when they kicked her sister off the plane and called her a terrorist? Yeah. What happened with that story?
I don't know.
Where was social media when that happened? How many years ago was that?
Dexter wrote a good comment that he had a good experience with Ethiopian Airlines where the staff was very professional and treated him very well.
Okay. So that's good. I'm glad to hear there's some good stories. Usually when you're on the flight and they haven't kicked you off the flight, usually they're quite helpful, the flight attendants. I've only had a few incidents where I felt they were taking advantage of me.
Like, what do you mean? Taking advantage of you?
Yeah, physically and mentally.
What?
Well, when they tell you to, put your seatbelt on.
Right.
If I'm sleeping or whatever, sometimes they do it themselves. It's not
I've never had that happen to me.
I've had that happen, and I found it quite uncomfortable.
I don't remember that happening to you either. That's weird.
Yeah, well, I don't remember if it was on Delta or United, so I can't say for sure.
Or maybe it wasn't either of them.
Maybe it was a bad dream.
So Naomi says she will only fly in Air Canada, WestJet, or Transat. So I'm guessing you've had very good experiences with those airlines.
Or is that because they haven't been in the news lately?
Maybe. I don't know. They have inconsistent rules in different airports.
Yeah, I think that was the problem on this last flight with the family that was kicked off of which one was that? The Delta flight. I think the flight attendant didn't really know the rules. They were saying no, you have to hold your child, and they were saying no, the child can't sit alone. And I think I agree with you that they don't even know. I don't know that the flight attendants actually know all the rules out there.
Right. So maybe there's poor training, so they need better training, maybe better customer service training, better information, what's legal, what's not legal. I mean, they told this couple some terrible things, some of which were false information, and they also told them, that they would end up in jail and that their kids would end up in foster care. I mean, that's just not a nice thing to say to a family.
Not a nice thing to say at a time when you're coming home from a lovely vacation in Hawaii and you're trying to get back home.
Naomi says that WestJet is very accommodating and friendly.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any other horror stories or airlines? We want to know if you guys would travel with Delta or United, which are, after hearing all this horror stories like that went viral on Facebook and everywhere else. So we want to hear, would you fly with them again or not? Flight attendants no longer work for the company. Their work is outsourced. I didn't know that.
Well, that makes sense.
That could explain the
problem. That could make sense. That could explain a lot. I totally agree. Isn't Virgin Airlines, isn't there advertisement that they're like the flight attendants are the owners or they're owners too? They're just like us or something. So.
Actually, Diana. Oh yeah, with
was it WestJet
yeah,
or
that's what
I thought it was Virgin Airlines or
it might be WestJet. But Diana's making a lot of interesting points today, actually. Thank you, Diana. But she's saying that a lot of the times they have share codes. So you might book with a certain airline, but then you get to the airport and you're actually flying with a completely different airline. So you need to be careful before you book the ticket to know the possible airlines.
You don't know who to be frustrated at.
Right, exactly.
Is it one airline or the next?
Right. So my question now is, are these companies, are United and Delta, going to become better airlines now that these... we've seen these stories, we've seen these videos of people being dragged down the airplane. Do you think these airlines are going to change?
I don't think they have a choice. I mean, we're human beings. We're not air cargo. So if they just treat you as air cargo, then we belong under the plane.
I know.
Yeah, we're sitting
what
at a
were
level.
the consequences for United Airlines? Their share dropped, but are people really going to stop flying with them? Like maybe that was...
Well, one, they're going to have some huge settlements to pay out in terms of lawsuits.
Right.
Second, I think I read that there are going to be changes, and they're going to be talking about rules and regulations at like the Congress level.
You're absolutely right.
Are they not?
Yeah, no, I was just reading, according to CNN, there is a congressional investigation with regards to how airlines treat their customers, and there are changes that are supposed to be made.
Okay.
And according to
And that's because of social media.
That's because of social media. So I guess social media and posting these horrible scenarios or horrible things that have happened on things, or situations, rather.
Yeah, stories that have happened. Totally.
So, and another thing, United has changed some of its policies. One of them being about, and how many times has this happened? It happened to us many times. It happened to one of our friends as well, where you've lost your luggage with
right.
any airline, and then it takes like 7 days or so much time to get it back, and then you have to argue for your not your.
You have to call when you're traveling somewhere and you lose your luggage. Let's say you're traveling, I don't know, pick any airline. You got to call a call center in the middle of nowhere. They don't know where your luggage is. Nobody knows where your luggage is. But if you're traveling with children, what happens? The airport, they're supposed to have extra car seats. If you don't have car seats, how are you even going to get out of the airport? We were traveling with we were traveling with friends, and they didn't have any car seats because the airline lost their car seats. They didn't bring it. They didn't find them.
Right.
So what happened was they said you have to take a taxi to a local car dealer. They said, well, how are we supposed to take a taxi to a local car dealer if we don't have car seats for the kids? Should we leave our kids with you at the airport?
Exactly.
And so it's just like...
And they spent their whole vacation. They actually never got their luggage. So they spent their whole vacation without luggage with 2 kids, 2 rented car seats, which is not the end of the world.
Right.
But all this to say that they weren't helpful in any way, and no one seemed to really care.
Right. And then you have to call in the middle of nowhere to find out that nobody knows where anything is. And that's what they did most of their vacation.
Right. So, and this has happened to us too. We've also lost our luggage. But anyways.
We lost our luggage on our honeymoon.
So now United has a $1,500 no question return policy. So if you've lost your luggage, no questions asked.
United has that?
Yeah, it's a new policy they just added since the incident.
So let's travel United.
And so Philip Lassner says that he's flying Delta tomorrow, and he's happy as long as he just doesn't get kicked off the plane. But we never know. I mean, that could happen.
Phil, let us know if you're happy after your flight tomorrow. Safe travels.
And Sandra says that they're all treating us like cargo, and this has to be addressed. And she's absolutely right.
Exactly. We're not cargo. We're people. We reserve seats. We didn't reserve no seats.
No, I mean, if you have a reserved seating, we do think that
right, but they bump. They just bump. They bump anybody.
Oh, so then there's another rule, a new policy that United Airline added as well after the incident.
Yeah.
And the policy is now the remember they had a, what's it called? If you want to bump your seats, you can now get
upgrade.
A refund. No. If you want to let go of your seat, you get paid up to $10,000 now. Because remember, there was a max $800, and no one wanted to accept that to leave the flight.
Okay, if you want to get bumped.
Yeah, if you want to get a bump fee. So the bump fee now goes up to $10,000.
That's good.
Which I think before was like $1,300.
I guess it depends on how many people actually are on the flight and how many people are.
So
I don't think you're going to get paid $10,000 to get bumped on your Montreal-Toronto flight.
No, exactly.
If so, that's a good business. You just buy a lot of Montreal-Toronto tickets.
So
we're talking again, yeah? You want to reiterate what we're talking about?
You go.
No, you're amazing at it.
Okay,
go for it. You'll just do it. Go for it.
Basically, what's happened in the news lately, we've all seen on our Facebook feed, tons of airlines, tons, 2 or 3 situations in the past few weeks where passengers have been treated poorly with airline staff. And
they've either been kicked off the plane
or taken off or dragged
off the plane.
So we want to know, is this going to deter you from
traveling any specific airlines or traveling at all, flying at all, or how will it affect you? How has it affected you?
Hi, Steph.
Hey, thanks for watching. And Audrey too. Wow, it's a family event on there. We're talking about terrible airline experiences.
So Steph said she's going to drag you off the plane. Thanks, Steph. Actually, I appreciate that.
Steph, as long as they pay me the bump fee of $10,000, I'll be very happy if they drag me off the plane.
Right. So we were just saying how United Airlines now has an up to $10,000 bump fee.
Yeah.
I like that, a bump fee.
Bump fee. You like that? Anybody would like a $10,000 bump fee, unless they have to get somewhere the next day.
Right. Like somewhere really important, such as the doctor who got kicked off and had to get to work.
Do you have any
horror stories?
Horror stories. Every travel story tends to be a horror story for some. Some people are just so unlucky, like their flights are delayed every time they travel.
I know. I have a friend like that who every time he has to travel, he's just unlucky. I don't know if it's just because he travels a lot, so it happens to him a lot more often. But Audrey says she has a lot of horror stories. Okay, let's ask Audrey or Steph. Would you not fly with a specific airline again because you've had a horrible experience with them, or because you heard something horrible on your Facebook feed or on the news?
Yeah.
Jess, you look so pretty. Thank you. Who is this friend? I'll tell you offline.
Who is which friend? A lot of people have lots of problems.
Yeah.
Give us some other examples of problems that people had. There's the lost baggage, there's the flight delay, there's getting kicked off the plane.
Oh, I actually heard about someone who, this is also was with United a couple of days ago, who was supposed to fly to Paris and ended up flying to San Francisco. But this is a problem because on her ticket they said the gate was, let's say, gate B9.
Yeah.
And they basically directed her to the wrong gate, and she flew all the way to San Francisco. I had no idea.
That doesn't make sense.
I promise you, it was in the news.
That sounds like a terrible.
It's true. It's
really?
True. It's a true story.
How can they let her on the plane if she's going to a different place?
I don't know. Steph says she would probably still fly with Delta depending on the pricing, and that's what we've been saying, is that a lot of the times, if they have lower pricing, we would probably still pick an airline regardless of what they've been doing. So is all this commotion on social media really having an impact?
Yeah, I think most people are still they're just booking the least expensive ticket, right? Because
so there's no motivation for airlines to change.
Travel.
They can just continue to treat people like cargo.
But I think they're going to stop, or they have to stop because of social media and because of the effect on their companies if they don't stop. Yeah. They don't have a choice but to stop, I think.
Yeah. So Audrey says, we're not a fan of United. You guys were there when they lost our luggage.
Yeah.
Exactly. Basically Mo shared that story before.
We mentioned a story about that before, but thanks for sharing it again.
And Steph says that Air Canada is her number one choice in terms of flying, and I agree. They do have great customer service.
Yeah, people like Air Canada because you get Aeroplan points.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. So
the points are like someone else mentioned. I think Diana said she likes to keep her status exactly. Same for Stephanie. She likes Air Canada because she gets a lot of points.
Right. So when you're loyal to a certain airline,
you get upgraded. You get
treated better.
Better.
No, I don't know about treated better.
I don't know if they would drag like a first class person right off the plane. When I say person, I meant a ticket holder. I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen that in the news, but it's coming next.
Air France, for instance, is a good company, but always on strike. You can't get kicked off. You just don't get in. So that doesn't really help either if you can't just get on the plane.
If you're constantly on. Right. En grève, strike, you're not exactly doing anybody a service.
Right. But then there's that, thank you, because that brings up a good point also. A lot of the times, they're just canceling flights out of nowhere. So you show up at the airport, you're supposed to get somewhere, like, oh no, sorry, we can't fly, but here's a $12 voucher. Go get yourself something at the airport restaurants.
Right.
Thank you very much, but that's not going to get me to my destination. Why did you cancel my flight last minute? So there's a lot of issues, I think. I think we need to go to this, speak to this congressional investigation and try to...
I think we should all be pro that super fast underground tunnel from, what's his name? Elon, the Tesla guy who's going to build the super fast shuttle underground.
Okay, we'll do that.
Monorail.
We'll do that, but that's still not going to take us to, to France or to... Ethiopia.
Underwater, why not? It could happen.
I guess. And there's also, remember when we were, I don't remember where we were going, and we were 3 minutes late to board, And the plane was there, and they're like, sorry, we're not letting you onto the plane. But the plane was right there.
And our baggage was on the plane.
And our baggage was on the plane. They were just standing there like, no, you can't go on. We were literally 3 minutes
They closed the door.
late.
They said it's international. The plane is now...
I don't know if that's an actual law that once the door of the plane is... I don't even know if the door was closed, but...
I don't know.
In retrospect...
I think they closed the door at that time.
And so we can't go on.
But no, it was like the plane is scheduled to leave at, let's say, 2 p.m. And let's say you're there at 1:30. Your bags are on the plane, but the plane doesn't... The plane is still at the gate, and it's set to leave, but you still have 15 minutes. But they said they closed the door. But we're like, but the plane's right there. Just open it.
Exactly. Audrey was talking about that time when they changed the departure time, made it earlier, and never told us.
Sometimes they make a departure time earlier, so you're planning to be there at a certain time. And then, no, sorry, your plane left.
We just
changed
randomly
the departure
decided.
time by 20 minutes.
So that's why we were late and actually missed that flight. And it's just so annoying when the plane's there and you're like, but I can walk onto the plane, it's right there. And no, sorry.
Yeah. Look, my even had a dog bumped off the plane because they didn't have all the right information. See, at least they're treating animals and people the same.
I wouldn't let Eric on a flight.
Eric? No, he caused a lot of trouble in the airs.
I would close the doors on him.
Oh, let's be nice. Let's be nice to our fellow viewers.
My question is, are these airlines actually going to change, or are we just looking at, more videos on social media? Are we looking at more horrible stories of boycotting? Right. But do we need to boycott, or do we just,
Are people protesting? Or are they not protesting? Is this a real issue, or is it not really a real issue? Are these real issues? I think they're real issues. I just don't know if people are really protesting. I mean, how many people were protesting at the airport here in Montreal when they heard something that happened?
What happened?
Well, I'm just giving you an example, like something from Delta.
Oh, okay.
Are people protesting? How many people were outside the Delta head office in Montreal, if there is one?
Right. But
I don't know.
But as you're saying, I mean, for them, the bottom line is, are people actually going to purchase a ticket? And according to our viewers, people are going to purchase a ticket.
I think people are going to purchase because they have a lot of points.
Or they have a specific route that
or
they
have
need
a specific
to take.
route, and there aren't that many flights going to that route.
Or it's cheaper. And so that's why. So that's basically why these airlines have all the power, because we need them,
Yeah. That's why it's a big issue.
I learned this in business school.
It's a big issue.
It's a very big issue.
But we hope that with, more competition,
jets, I think.
We should all get private jets. Yeah. One for you, one for me, one for everyone.
Flying cars.
Or flying cars. Yeah. You going to fill it up?
Fill it up.
I think the bottom line is we have to hope for more competition, and that way then you hope that you'll be loyal to one company that you feel treats people properly.
Audrey said she's friends with me because she knows I'm eventually going to get a private jet, and then I'll be able to take her everywhere.
That's fine. That's nice.
That's okay. I accept.
Let me know how it goes. I'll still be at the airport waiting 4 hours before the flight. Who said it's supposed to be fast? Mo is buying us a private jet. I have a private jet for you. I bought it at the airport. It was $12.99. You could get that at the dollar store for $1.99. Dollar store for $1.99. Anyways, let's. What time do you have over here? Let's. We had a competition going last week.
Right.
Is it a good time to do the competition?
Yeah, let's do the competition.
For those of you who weren't here, airlines should not overbook. I think that's also a big problem. I think the reason they kicked that person off the United flight was because they wanted to book one of their own flight attendants.
A crew member.
A crew member to fly instead of him. I mean, okay, relax.
Yeah. No, but in most cases, also with the family of 4, I think the flight was overbooked. And that led to the situation where, we need this extra seat. If not, there would have been no issue. So basically, airlines are overbooking in hopes that they can get the most amount of money and people won't show up to the airport. But that's what's causing these main problems. And I also think a lack of training and a lack of customer service.
Sounds like there's a long list of stuff
there definitely
that is lacking with
There's
the
a lot of lacking.
I think we should put Jess on the case, and then maybe they'll have better service. They'll have better.
I think I should be.
Information.
I should be. I should be a consultant for airlines. We all should. Add my name in that box, Stephanie says. We'll have another contest next week.
You were not part of the contest last week. You did not comment. But for those who did, now is the time. It's time to tune in.
So there's two prizes.
We have 2 prizes.
The first one is $50 to Amazon.
It's either Amazon or Toys R Us.
Okay, Toys R Us, because we had a...
or the toy store of their choice, because remember what last week was? It was game night, and we played games and blah, blah, blah.
Mo is getting tired.
I am a little tired.
Blah, blah. Wait, I just have to read this comment by Rana. She goes, flying cars, forget international travel. That would be helping my daily commute. I can just fly over the Champlain Bridge. We should have another show about traffic in Montreal.
Yeah, that will be a very slow-moving show.
Just like the traffic. Good one, Mo.
You got it?
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm surprised you got that.
What?
Okay. Let's do the draw right now.
Okay, so the first one is for a $50 gift card to Amazon or to Toys R Us.
And the winner goes to... I just want to show you that I'm not cheating and I'm not looking.
Where's our cameraman? Come on,
The cameraman is here, don't worry. And the winner is... Oh, these are good, these.
Oh, wait, hold the suspense. Because we have another comment.
What's the comment?
Audrey says that she had another bad experience in New York where they told her it was dangerous for her child to fly in the car seat.
Exactly, and then on certain websites like
it's actually,
they said it's safer to fly in cars.
That's the recommendation, is for the child to actually fly, and that's what happened with that family on Delta,
exactly,
where they had the car seat for their child, and the staff told them the same thing.
It's because they're so knowledgeable.
Again, it comes back to lack of training.
So knowledgeable,
but it's true. Anyways.
Here we go. Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Iris won. Where is she? She's not here today.
Iris isn't here. Oh, should we not tell her? You think anyone else will tell her?
I'm sure she can watch this later. I'm sure she will, because she's
a
very loyal fan.
She's a very loyal fan. Congratulations, Iris. The second prize is
for a custom T-shirt. So you guys from Custies. And you can print whatever you want on the top or the back.
Okay, I'm going to stop looking. I don't know why I was looking at names through the paper. Here we go.
Let me do it.
Okay, you do it.
And Audrey said there was nothing she could do. That's right. It's like so frustrating when you talk to these, the airline. It's like you're talking to a wall sometimes. It just gets so frustrating, right?
I know. I don't know what that feels like at home, but in the airlines I would.
What?
Bad joke.
Bad joke. You need to work on that, Mo. Okay, I got another one here.
Okay, point at the camera and see who won the custom T-shirt. Congratulations to all the winners. Yeah, you really sealed them shut there.
Judy!
Yay! Congratulations, Judy.
Judy McDonald. So
congratulations.
You get a custom T-shirt.
Iris.
By Custies.
You see, there's so many benefits to watching Jess and Mo live.
We'll have, next week we're hoping for a special show. We'll tell you more during the week.
Wow.
Well, more special than just you and me. Is that possible?
I guess, according to you. Anyways, as always, if you like the video, please like the video. If you like to share this video, if you know someone who travels a lot, you want to share it with them, then just push the share button. It's quite easy. And we hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.